If you were invisible, you could have a perfectly normal relationship with a blind person.
Who are you?
Your skull doesn't have facial expressions. Your flesh just moves around it.
I don't like you.
Your eyelids slide so smoothly against your eye.
What?
Police should wear red and blue light-up shoes when they chase someone on foot.
Stop now.
Technically, you eat a cake from the middle outwards. You have the same amount of Olympic gold medals as most people that have been in the Olympics.
Stop.
If you put a map of your country on the floor, there will be some point on the map that is actually touching the place it's referring to. Just imagine the arguments the first colorblind person had.
I think I need to see a therapist.
Technically, lamps in video games use real electricity.
Oh my god,
Bread basically involves creating a rich, warm environment for a species and then initiating a mass extinction event.
Okay.
I bet several people have likely had a revolutionary idea and then just lost their train of thought. What's wrong with you? The voice in your head is a really good singer. The biggest cause of cancer in mice is research.
There's something wrong with you.
Gravity is creepy when you realize you're not walking around on a surface, but you're getting pulled into a giant core of burning magma.
Stop talking.
Corrupt cops are just undercover criminals.
Stop.
Listening to a single instrument in a song is like staring, but with your ears.
Leave.
Old folks' homes are also orphanages. Honestly, I really miss sleep. Like,
Can you just...
there are places in your house that you have never touched. Any stairway is a stairway to heaven if you're clumsy enough.
No.
Future children are gonna wonder why Santa lives in the middle of an ocean. Someone will die of cancer the day a cure for cancer is made. I'm gonna name my kid Mark, so I can leave a mark on this world. A giant 6-ton monster with a tentacle and spikes growing out of his face sounds a lot scarier than an elephant.
Well,
Cheese is just a loaf of milk.
that's it. I'm moving.
We can't prove we aren't in a simulation.
Why tell me this?
France was still using the guillotine when the first Star Wars film came out.
This hurts. This physically hurts.
The Oxford University is older than the Aztecs.
You are vile.
Scientists haven't found a particular component of the brain responsible for consciousness. There is no physical proof of consciousness. It just is.
Stop.
You don't remember when you were born, or the first couple years of your existence. All you remember is one day you began existing, taking in experiences and memories.
Who are your friends?
Summer vacation when you're 15 is probably the most relaxed you'll ever be until you retire.
But...
Do you think the milk in a gallon of milk is from like hundreds of different cows?
I don't know. Why are you here?
Otters have skin pockets for their favorite rocks.
Get out of here.
We can't prove we aren't in a simulation.
Why tell me this?
France was still using the guillotine when the first Star Wars film came out.
This hurts. This physically hurts.
The Oxford University is older than the Aztecs.
You are vile.
Scientists haven't found a particular component of the brain responsible for consciousness. There is no physical proof of consciousness. It just is.
Stop.
You don't remember when you were born, or the first couple years of your existence. All you remember is one day you began existing, taking in experiences and memories.
Who are your friends?
Summer vacation when you're 15 is probably the most relaxed you'll ever be until you retire.
But...
Do you think the milk in a gallon of milk is from like hundreds of different cows?
I don't know. Why are you here?
Otters have skin pockets for their favorite rocks.
Get out of here.
You've probably saved someone's life due to the butterfly effect.
Who are you?
Tall people are just vertically thick.
No, go back. Okay, wait.
Most games prevent you from falling asleep when there's danger nearby. Think about that the next time you can't fall asleep late at night.
Alright, stop talking.
Nothing you see is real. It's all just a virtual recreation based on what your brain thinks the world looks like around it.
Okay.
Right now, you're being watched by yourself in the future through your memories.
You're horrible.
There are people on this planet that have no idea that pizza exists.
I want to sleep tonight.
You are the tiniest bit older than the reflection that you see in the mirror.
How did you...
Maybe people don't celebrate your birthday as much when you're older because the novelty of you existing has worn off.
I miss not thinking.
Okay, facts. Just facts. Any new Snapchat update looks disgusting. High school sports don't matter. Spencer Shea carried iCarly. I'd rather be insulted behind my back. Change my mind. Wanting to be invited and wanting to go are two totally separate things. Why are drug dealers always the nicest people? The fact that I procrastinate and still get everything done is why I will never stop procrastinating. Everybody has a customer service voice. I don't understand how someone can call you and then you call them back immediately and they don't pick up. I don't... thank you. Maybe plants are really farming us, feeding us oxygen until we eventually die and turn into mulch which they can consume.
Okay.
It's crazy that there's this giant thing in the sky and it's there all the time and we're not supposed to look at it.
Stop it.
With as much as I've used my cell phone, I don't believe it's ever made an appearance in one of my dreams.
Well,
I wonder if Tinder bots match with each other and then they have secret little conversations that no one will ever know about. A telephone makes sound faster than the speed of sound. My therapist told me not to listen to you. The most suspicious thing to bring on an airplane is a parachute.
no.
When you step on the road, you are stepping on an unbroken web of asphalt that extends over almost the entire continent. So you should leave, probably now. You and your best friend will not be at each other's funerals.
No, not this time. You're not gonna get me. Leave.
Somewhere on Earth, your exact place of death is just waiting for you to show up.
I'll sick my cat on you.
In a way, humans are a virus, infecting the planet, eating away at its resources, and then attempting to find another host. What? If your high school experience was a movie, you probably wouldn't have been able to watch it in high school.
I'll give you money. Just please leave.
At any given moment, your future self could be thinking about you.
Okay, you make my brain hurt.
A sunburn is just radiation damage from a fusion reactor that's 93 million miles away.
No.
The worst way to kill a giraffe would be quicksand.
That was a verbal form of cancer.
I bet serial killers have a net negative carbon footprint.
Is lasagna just spaghetti cake?
Well, every restaurant is a drive-through if you're going fast enough.
What the hell was that?
We have 5 senses, but is that every sense that exists? Are there more that we could have but don't?
What?
The voice inside your head has changed over time with you.
You were like God spilled a person.
Walking is just continuously screwing up your balance so you fall onto your other leg.
Can you please cease to exist?
There are only 2 days in your entire life that aren't 24 hours long. The day you're born and the day you die. Existence isn't reality.
That one doesn't make any sense.
For a brief moment, every 19-year-old is the oldest teenager in the world.
I have so many questions.
Sex is just prostitution where the payment is sex.
Leave!
Most laugh tracks that you hear in a TV show were recorded in the 50s, so technically you're listening to dead people laughing.
It's time for you to go, okay?
Waterboarding at Guantanamo Bay sounds super dope if you don't know what either of those things are.
Yeah, my mom said I can't hang out with you anymore, so you should probably just...
100 years from now, Facebook is going to be full of dead people.
Yeah, see, this is why she said that.
There are more bacteria cells in your body than human cells.
Dude, you gotta stop, honestly.
What if one day my dog turned to me and said, "No one is going to believe you," and then he never spoke again?
I don't like that. No.
I should make a list of my favorite films and videos so that when I'm older and I have memory loss, I can have someone put that list on repeat and I can have my mind blown every day. If I touch my phone in the right places, a pizza will appear at my door. I wonder if I've already had the best day of my life.
Is this why other kids don't hang out with you?
If a smoker goes into a coma for long enough, do they wake up without the craving to smoke?
You
When I talk to someone in a dream, I have no clue what the other person is going to say, even though it's my brain creating the entire thing.
Well,
Fitbits are like Tamagotchis, except for the stupid little creature you have to keep alive is yourself.
that's depressing.
There must have been entire civilizations that never knew that water had a solid form.
Okay, and?
I just realized that every time I hear I walk into a bar joke, I've been picturing the same bar my entire life. I wonder if that's a real bar.
Dude.
University is great. I'm an unemployed alcoholic, and my parents are proud of me.
I just don't have the energy for you today, okay?
Scary movies should put high-pitched noises that only dogs can hear, so your dogs start freaking out right before the scariest parts.
Alright, you're done.
You probably once had a dream so vivid that you now think it's a memory, even though it never happened.
Stop.
Maybe the Earth is like the uncontacted tribes in the Amazon. The whole galaxy knows we're here, they've just agreed upon not contacting us.
Your parents must not love you.
If you earn the title of oldest person in the world, you keep it for the rest of your life.
Stop.
If Adam and Eve got into a fight, it would be a world war.
Leave.
Given the current state of our oceans, instead of saying there's plenty of fish in the sea, people can say there's some fish still left among the trash, which is probably a better metaphor anyways.
I need to see a therapist.
The scariest thing you could ever discover on another planet would be humans.
Can you just leave?
Okay, so I was thinking, oh god, who let this guy start thinking again? If you clean a vacuum cleaner, you are now a vacuum cleaner.
La, 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 la.
If you're sitting at a light texting and a police officer tries to give you a ticket, just put your car in park. Now it's a parking ticket. Hold up. Wait, no. If you're singing to a song on a radio, there's a good chance thousands of people are singing along with you. The first person to say the word cool must have been really cool because everyone else started using it. Alcohol is literally a solution. Stop it! When you die, your skeleton begins to hatch.
How do you break my brain so easily?
In an alien language, waving could mean anything.
Please stop.
What if planet Earth is like a Noah's Ark and we can't find anyone in the galaxy because they've been dead for years? You know the insects that only live for like a couple of days? Do they think night and day are like seasons?
Why tell me this?
I wonder what our noses smell like.
Leave.
We named every moon in the solar system except for our own.
Maybe if I just pretend you're not here.
I bet in the next generation there will be a bunch of gamer dads who are telling their kids that they could have gone pro.
What?
When you say apart, your lips touch, but when you say together, they don't.
You make my ears bleed.
Does anyone remember the last few seconds before you fall asleep?
Where do you come from?
Imagine how many GoPros are waiting to be found in snowy mountains containing the last moments of people's lives.
I need to sit.
Your shadow is confirmation that light has traveled 93 million miles unobstructed, only to be deprived of reaching the ground because of you.
Shut up.
If you kill a murderer, the number of murderers stays the same.
No.
Do not touch must be a terrifying thing to read in Braille. To dinosaurs, we live in a post-apocalyptic future.
Can you stop talking?
You're always starving to death. Eating just resets the timer. You have probably never formally introduced yourself to your siblings.
The door's that way.
Apps not showing the time when you're in them is the same thing as casinos not telling you the time. They just want you to stay in their thing longer. Oh my god, it is almost impossible to look at a word without reading it. What's wrong with you? By the age of 90, the average person has already been dead for 8 years. I bet you're closer to being a millionaire than Bill Gates is.
I feel like you're high.
Many people's lives are just one long trip between two hospitals.
You're the worst, you know that?
Do you think deaf people realize that farting makes a sound?
Oh.
The average zebra is gray.
Well,
Every light switch is also a dark switch. Okay, idea. If holy water kills vampires, you could just pour holy water into a humidifier and have like a holy water gas chamber to kill all of them. Go home. Someone's therapist knows all about you. What? What if there are diseases in the polar ice caps that will infect humans after they melt?
Oh, Jesus.
With my own eyes, I've seen more of the surface of the moon than I have of the earth. Time heals everything, yet it slowly kills you. The only part of your reflection that you can lick is your tongue. I hate you. Spiders would be a lot scarier if they made hives instead of webs.
I wanted to sleep tonight.
We need glasses for deaf people that like display subtitles right in front of your eyes.
Just why?
Technically, all national anthems are country music.
No.
Too many birthdays will kill you.
Make like a tree and leave. Seriously, I hate you.
The song stuck in your head right now is just the song playing at the hospital where you're being treated for a coma.
Oh my god, you?
Food doesn't go bad. Something else just starts eating it before you do.
Bro.
People are like slinkies. Even though almost all of them have no purpose, it's still fun to watch them get pushed down the stairs.
Shut up.
Our ultimate goal is to make everyone as sad as possible when we die. At age 30, you've spent a month having birthdays.
Stop it.
The world wars started and ended with an Austrian guy dying. My dad has probably been wearing his leather jacket for longer than the cow that it came from.
Okay, that one hurt my brain.
Mosquitoes are like dirty used needles that can fly.
Leave.
If you name your cat Meow, it can introduce itself.
How does that make any sense?
You bite up, not down.
Can you leave, please?
Out of all 7 billion people alive, someone is the worst person alive.
Who let you speak the English language?
If your parents call you handsome, is that like a flex? Because they made you, right?
Well, hold on.
All of the clutter around your house used to be money. Pulled hamstrings sound delicious, unless if you know what they are.
Hey!
One day, we went outside to play with our friends for the last time, and no one had any clue.
You are why I believe in the death penalty.
A ton of whales is like half a whale.
Oh no, brother.
If you're blind, you can never be 100% certain that you're alone in a room.
Nothing makes sense anymore.
If all goes well, your car will never touch another car.
You again?
One day, you could be the last person alive in your group chat.
That was depressing.
Beer is just water with a yeast infection.
Duh.
High school kids can find drug dealers, but cops can't.
Can you just shut?
If everything in the universe suddenly doubled in size, no one would notice. The word crisp starts at the back of your mouth and ends at the front.
No.
Second guessing yourself is your brain telling your brain not to listen to your brain.
Stop.
The only way to prove you're mortal is by dying. The opposite of attempted murder is unprotected sex.
No.
The Leaning Tower of Pisa is just an italicized building.
Leave.
After our extinction, a future civilization may start to use our dead bodies as fossil fuel.
I always knew I'd be good for something.
Every Snapchat you receive is a Schrodinger's nude until you open it.
What?
Someday someone will be the last person to ever think about you, and then you will ultimately cease to exist.
That is depressing.
Maybe people think they look better without their glasses on because they can't see themselves as well.
No.
If someone pressed pause on my life, I would never know about it.
What?
Everyone talks about the little voice in their head, but no one talks about the little ears in their head that allow them to hear that voice.
You have to stop.
You can only see the universe from inside of it. Art is how we decorate space. Music is how we decorate time.
You are human tennis elbow. You are the pizza burn on the roof of the world's mouth. You are the opposite of Batman.
After our extinction, a future civilization may start to use our dead bodies as fossil fuel.
I always knew I'd be good for something.
Every Snapchat you receive is a Schrodinger's nude until you open it.
What?
Someday someone will be the last person to ever think about you, and then you will ultimately cease to exist.
That is depressing.
Maybe people think they look better without their glasses on because they can't see themselves as well.
No.
If someone pressed pause on my life, I would never know about it.
What?
Everyone talks about the little voice in their head, but no one talks about the little ears in their head that allow them to hear that voice.
You have to stop.
You can only see the universe from inside of it. Art is how we decorate space. Music is how we decorate time.
You are human tennis elbow. You are the pizza burn on the roof of the world's mouth. You are the opposite of Batman. You again? If two mind readers are reading each other's mind, then whose mind are they reading? That was fine.
Baby butterflies don't exist. You pass your death day every year without realizing.
Okay, well,
When you say forward or back, your lips move in that direction. You are younger now than you are now. If you go into a fake time machine, you still come out in the future. If you don't reproduce, you are the end of a 3.5 billion year streak.
no. You again?
If two mind readers are reading each other's mind, then whose mind are they reading?
That was fine.
Baby butterflies don't exist. You pass your death day every year without realizing.
Okay, well,
When you say forward or back, your lips move in that direction. You are younger now than you are now. If you go into a fake time machine, you still come out in the future. If you don't reproduce, you are the end of a 3.5 billion year streak.
no.
The sun could have blown up 7 minutes ago.
No.
You physically can't snap your fingers inside your mouth.
You're gonna ruin Christmas for me.
There was a moment in your life where your mom put you down and never picked you up again.
Yeah, that one was depressing.
Horses walk on their fingernails.
Oh, dude,
A dustpan does its job, even when you're not using it.
you're killing me.
Minecraft is older than South Sudan. No one has ever been inside of an empty room. Do blind people turn the lights on when they come home?
Ah,
Your future self is probably talking shit about you.
stop.
Refrigerators are just domesticated winter. Most people are made on beds, born on beds, and die on beds.